My name is Pino. I was born in Socorro, New Mexico, and when I was about 2, I moved over to Las Vegas with my family and grew up there until I got into college, basically. So Socorro, New Mexico is a very small town. Not many people know about it, so my roots are like really small town oriented, kind of like just a place of, small beginnings. And then moving over to Las Vegas, it was like a big city, always something to do, the city that never sleeps. So it kind of just made me, I'm really grateful that my parents made the decision to move to Las Vegas, just because the small city type thing, I don't know, I'd be a whole different person if it was me just and our family staying in the smaller town. UNLV, that was very hard, just being like, I went there first straight out of high school and I was 18. So I had to learn right away how to be an adult, which I think was very difficult. And I learned, trying to schedule stuff, be on time, and work hard, and, try to get good grades. Going over to Tyler Junior College, I ended up moving to Texas. My brother introduced me to some people that lived in Tyler. So I was like, cool, let's go check it out. The junior college was there. I was like, cool, they have like a redshirt program for football. So I decided to do that. And that was like another level from UNLV because I had to pay my own way. And I worked overnight at a gym and had to wake up at like 6 in the morning to go to football practice and then go to school all day. So it was super difficult. And yeah, it was hard, but I got to play football. I liked playing football, so that was fun. And then after a while, I felt like I needed to go into a different route, not necessarily doing it for football, but I needed to go and equip myself with like my background of being a Christian and my family's background and stuff like that. So went to Bible college and I met my wife there. So it was a very good move. So I learned a lot in Bible college, just basic principles of theology and Christian doctrine, and met a lot of awesome people that I still know today. So it was a great experience. Celebration has been a huge, just an awesome thing for my family. We went to a different church for a few years before going to Celebration, but as soon as we stepped foot in Celebration, it was like we're home, and that was around the time we had our second kid. So we were still trying to learn how to be a family and that family dynamic. And just going to Celebration has been such a huge blessing for my family and I. And we just enjoy it so much to the point that like we love to serve there, and we serve a lot there. And they just, they're just family to us. Every time we go there, we see the people that we love. We know that they love us and they care about us. And it's just a great experience overall. Since we met in Bible college, it's like we kind of knew our foundation of faith was our foundation, So when we decided to go to Celebration, at the beginning, we had our second son. He was still a baby, so it was kind of difficult for her to serve, but I knew her heart was to serve. So as we progress, now we have our third kid. So now we figured out like a way that we can both serve, and they allow all 3 of our boys to run around when we're there, like before service. So that helps a lot, but it's huge for us because our foundation is in faith and in God. And I think that's a huge stepping stone for any relationship, that you both agree on something. It doesn't necessarily have to be like your faith, but that's a huge connection for both of us, that we know that we believe in God. We have Christian morals and principles. We put that with our family, and that's part of the reason why we go to Celebration and serve the way we do, because we know that they support the family dynamic of being a Christian and having those morals. My faith is number one, my wife, then my family and my kids. So if that's not taken care of, football would not exist. So I played for a while, about 6 years ago, and I had a fun time doing it. My wife found out we were pregnant with our first son, so I took a break. I was like, I'm just going to decide to be a dad. And then now we're on our third kid, and my wife was like, hey, you want to play football still? I said, yeah, let's do it. So I came back, and if it wasn't for her being supportive of that, I probably wouldn't be here. So that's the huge thing, is having my family supporting me. And that the dynamic is very weird, because being a business owner, you're busy. Being a dad and a husband, you're super busy. And having to do practices and games and stuff, that's busy as well. But just finding a way to schedule it in with my wife, usually beforehand, and communicating is huge. And that's the only reason I get to be here, because my wife says it's cool and she can handle the 3 boys when I'm here. So it's been good. We're looking to get our first win And I believe we're going to get it this weekend. And then also the league that we're in, I feel like we have a good shot. I feel like the league is kind of wide open for just a team to step up and catch a spark in playoffs and win the whole thing. So I think we have a really good chance at that. We're dialing in. We're a new team. Usually new teams have a harder time, but I feel like if we just get a couple more things dialed in, we're going to be really good and make a really strong run when playoffs come around.